Hi, you are welcome to Photografix Academy. In this platform, we are going to be teaching you everything about Photoshop from scratch, whether you're a user, whether you are a beginner, whether you are even using your phone. Trust me, it's the same approach, just a little difference here and there. Everybody, there is a content for you and there is a value for you in these videos. So, first of all, let us go into what we have for today. What is Photoshop? Now, Photoshop is just a tool that allows you to create and explore your creativity. It's a tool that is more like a tool that you come into and you bring your own expertise, you create what you want to create, and you go out of it, you use it to do whatever you want to do, whether you're a web designer, whether you're a graphic designer, whether you're a photo retoucher, whether you are a digital marketer, whether you are a photographer, whether you are a videographer, whether you are a fashion designer. You can create stuffs that you can use and sell on global market right inside Photoshop. You can create templates for applications, you can create templates for web designs in Photoshop. So it's a tool that allows you to create whatever you want to create. That's why I said it allows you to explore your creativity. The much your skill can carry, that is the much you can do in Photoshop. Now, for basic users, we are going to start from the very scratch and we are going to understand the basic interface of Photoshop. So first of all, we are going to be looking at creating a document in Photoshop. So how do we create a document in Photoshop? If you are with your own Photoshop right now, I advise you use CC from 2014, just from where CC starts. If you are not using CC, there are some things we'll be doing that might not be consistent with what you might be seeing on your own screen. But please, before you jump into this video, make sure there is a Photoshop in front of you, whether it's phone or it's system, but please have a Photoshop in front of you. So if you are looking at your own Photoshop right now, you should be looking like what I'm having on my screen. If this is your first time of opening Photoshop, it should look like what I'm having on my screen. So how do we create document? So you go take up your mouse or your tablet, whatever you are using, or your pen, whatever, go to this part of the screen right here, this part of the screen that they wrote create new. Click on create new. It's going to bring you into a set of presets that Photoshop has designed to aid you do whatever you want to do. There is space for photographers. This is for photos. You can even find portraits here. You can even find for Instagram, default size for whatever it is you want to do. This is for 4x6 prints. This is for 5x7. This is for 7x5 landscape. This is for 6x4 landscape. This is 10x8. Any size you want. This is social media size, 8x10. If you are a printer or you are into prints, this is a template for you to use. If you want to print A4 paper, any size you want to print, A6, A5, A3, it's just a preset that allows you, instead of cracking your head to determine what the sizes are, it's just a preset that allows you to just click on A4. It does the settings right here automatically for you, right here automatically for you, and you select create and you start print and you start typing in whatever you want, or you start creating whatever you want. This one is for arts and illustrators. If you are into art, and illustration, this is it for you. This place is where you can choose your own template and start creating your stuff. This is for web designers. It's just a template that allows you to set up stuff. Maybe you are writing a JavaScript or your HTML. These are your templates where you can start writing. Then this is for mobile users. If you scroll down, you will find your own phone right here. Even if you don't find your phone, you will see a phone that is the same screen resolution or size with yours. There is even an upgraded stuff here. You could see Apple Watch. This is why I said you should use a later version of Photoshop, considering when Apple Watch came out. If you look at Photoshop, for example, Photoshop CS2, you can't find this there because it's not an upgraded version. So if you go down, you're going to notice a lot of products that the templates are here. You can just design the welcome page, the welcome note, whatever it is. This is where it's designed in Photoshop. They will have space for even app developers would still use this to develop app for phones. It's just a template actually. It's not that it will develop it for you. It gives you a template that allows you to start working inside it. This is for video editors, different types of screen. You could see your cinema here. You could see a full HD screen. You could see any size of screen that you want. Instead of thinking so hard or going to Google to find it, you just look here, you select the one that is suiting for you, and the sizes that you need as well. So whatever it is you need is right here. We have 4K, we have 2K, we have 720 full HD, we have even HDV. Depending on the one you want, there is even a space for 8K down here. Look at it. This is for widescreen. Any format of video you want to do, it's right here. Don't need to crack your head. So anyone, you just click on the sizes, automatically set itself right here. Then you can equally, let's do something, go to recent. Let's say we want to do an adjustment here. Let's change this number 6 by 9, for example, and we want to save it so that we can use it later. Just click here and say save. So let's call it test 1, and we'll say save preset. So it automatically saves inside this particular space right here. It automatically saves here as saved. So whenever you close your Photoshop and come back again, you can click here and start working and start doing whatever it is you want to do. So basically, this is what Photoshop document is. This is how to set up your sizes in your document. Then if you come to the right hand side of the document, you are going to see some setups here. This is where you do your size setting manually. If you don't want to use the templates here or the presets here, this is where you can choose to put in your sizes manually, because there are some sizes you might want to do that you will not find the templates here. So this is where you set your width, this is where you set your height, this is where you set your resolution, this is where you set whether you want it in centimeter per pixel or you want it in inch per pixel. This is where you set whether you want your document to be in pixels, inches, centimeters, millimeters, point, pixels, depending on what you are doing. Whoever that needs these things, once you see it, you already know the one you need. So photographers most time uses inches or pixels. So let me leave mine at pixels because I'm a photo retoucher and we are equally going to be doing photo retouching in this channel. We can equally leave your own in inches because we equally touch graphic designing. Whatever it is you want to do, you are free to do. So if you go down, you're going to see where they say color mode. This is your color mode. You can do RGB color, bitmap, grayscale, white, black, background color, whatever it is you want to do, this is where you do it. So we are leaving our own at RGB color because it's a full expression of color. It's a full expression of color, red, green, and blue. Everything, every image you see, every design you see just has RGB in it in different volumes and in different capacity, in different amounts. So if you go to this part, you are going to see 8 bits, 16 bit, 32 bit. This is where you set the bits for your images. This is where you set the bits for your images. Bits is just simply the level of color information every image holds, the level of color information and luminosity information. But majorly it's just for colors. The level of color volume that your image is able to carry is determined by how many bits it is. If your image is a high bit, let's say 32 bit, it can be able to, the colors can stretch, the colors can allow you to do a certain level of color gradings on it that It's hard to even find a camera that does 32-bit. Highest camera does is 16-bit, but Photoshop allows you to push up your images to 32 bits per pixel. Then if you scroll down, you are going to see your working. This is called color profile or color space. Color profile or color space. If you're a photographer, you're going to agree with me that if you go to your camera, you're going to see your color space settings. The three color space you are going to see there is Adobe RGB 1998, sRGB, and Pro Photo RGB. These are the three color spaces that every camera carries, although it's way bigger than that. Look at these ones here, but these are the three basic color space that every single camera carries. What does color space do for you? Color space allows you to determine the amount of color your image will carry. See, since bit is the volume of color that it is carrying, color space is the color expression. Like when you are editing your image or when you are working on a design, the level of color you can be able to see is determined by the color profile you are using. We are going to do dedicated video on these things so that you understand them in details. I don't have a lot of time to start breaking them down into pieces. Okay, so here majorly is for your videos. Here majorly is for your videos where you set your square pixels or your square per pixels majorly. You do not need this as a photographer, but if you're into video, this is it for you. So Photoshop has everything you need. So let's say we've finished setting up our document. You can choose to leave your own in portrait size or landscape size. They are both the same thing, 10:8. So after doing it, just press create and Photoshop creates the document for you. So this is what it looks like when you are done creating your document.